Good morning, everybody. Is Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about these storm systems again. And still, we have some really massive and humongous storms to still come to the United States. And these are still expected to bring some really good impacts. And they still look to be quite extreme for sure. So we definitely will be going over how these storms will play out. So let's go ahead and first talk about that. So for as of right now, as you can see, not very much storm activity going on. We might have some snow showers across the extreme northern portion of the Great Lakes region, but also some stray showers down here in North Florida. Other than that, not really looking very very stormy at all. So if we go ahead and start to take this forward, so we're going to head all the way back. As we continue to take this forward, as you can see, we will start to see some snow shower activity ongoing across parts of New England, and then as that system finally heads out, we'll start to see another storm system move through, which will bring a little bit of rain across the Ohio Valley, but mainly impact the deep south and as well as the mid-Atlantic. This will even bring threats for very heavy snowfall, freezing rain, and as well as very heavy rain across portions there in New England. And then as that system finally heads out, we'll start to see another storm system start to move through, and this one looks to bring a lot of impacts, including threats for flooding, which, like I said in the last video, the threat for flooding will likely be expanded across places like Arkansas and as well as Indiana. And let me go ahead and take my Epic pen out so I can draw for you guys. And as you can see, I wouldn't be surprised if this whole area right here, as you can see, did have a risk for flash flooding, and that will mainly be as we do head into the end of March. So pretty much March 25th, March 26th is when you can expect to see some pretty good impacts with the storm system if you do live across the Ohio Valley. But as we do continue to take that forward, as you can see, that storm system will head out quickly, and this will still bring chances for some snow and maybe even some freezing rain up there to the north. And then as that system finally heads out, we'll start to see maybe another storm system that might need to be watched. But for the overall pattern, it sounds like this storm right here is going to be the storm that we do need to be watching the most. Now, for your total precipitation, we're only heading 240 hours out, but for your total precipitation, you can expect some pretty good amounts of precipitation if you do live across the Great Lakes region and as well as the Ohio Valley. So let me go ahead and make sure this is right. Okay, yeah. So Great Lakes region and Ohio Valley and as well as the Mississippi Valley will all be in play for some pretty good rainfall, especially as we do head into the end of March. And then back over here out to the west, we still see some really good snowfall totals out west, and as you can see, actually looking quite hefty, by the way. So definitely looking quite snowy and stormy out west. So if you do live out west, you might also have to be watching for maybe some flash flooding, but we're mainly going to be watching this whole area right here, as you can see. So make sure to be on high alert for flash flooding if you do live in this area, but also be on high alert for maybe some severe weather as we do head into March 25th. And then even back down here along the East Coast, seeing some pretty good rainfall totals too as well. So flash flooding also a possibility too on the East Coast, but like I said, I'm pretty sure this whole area right here will be our main concern for flash flooding as we do head into March 25th and later on. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at your total snowfall now. And for your total snowfall, you can definitely expect some pretty good snowfall across the Great Lakes region. And like I said in the last video, you're definitely going to want your winter gear out again because it is still expected to come and bring a lot of snowfall. And look at that, guys, all this purple that you see right here. So pretty much all this purple, that is pretty much 12 inches of snowfall. 12 inches of snowfall. Okay, so that's quite quite a bit of snowfall right there, and I'm not gonna lie. So 12 inches of snowfall is what you can expect for any of this purple area shown on the map, and that's mainly that color right there. So if you do live in that purple area, watch for 1 foot of snow, and that's gonna be for areas in New England too as well, because as you can see, New England will be in play for some pretty good snowfall too as well, with even some orange colors showing up, which could indicate 2 feet of snow. But we don't really expect that much though, because that kind of sounds a little bit overdone right there. But we still need to be watching these snowstorms pretty closely. So let's go ahead and take a look at your total precipitation with the European model now, because we did with the GFS model. Now we're going to be taking a look at it with the European model. And with the European model, it looks like you can expect some pretty good rainfall totals out here again across the west coast. So like I said, we do have some pretty good agreement on both the GFS model and the European model, which people like to call the best models, on us having some pretty good storms right there. What's different about the European model is that the European model likes to keep all that heavier rain west of this line right here, as you can see. So west of this line right here is where most of the heavy rain should be, but also keeps lots of the heavy rain out to the east. So it's kind of like this whole area right here will be in play for some rainfall, but not as much rainfall as these areas back out here. So pretty significant difference between the GFS and the European model. I'm just gonna say, from what I have been seeing, it sounds like we are going to be having still some heavy rain here in Indiana and Ohio, or even the Ohio Valley rather. So we definitely should be watching these areas pretty closely too as well. Like I said, even though the European model does not want to agree on the GFS model, that we will be seeing lots of rainfall across these areas, but it's still something to watch for. Even though 1 mile model might show it, you still get to watch for it, because sometimes 1 model gets everything right. So that's kind of how it works. So that's why we are still going to be watching for some pretty good rainfall, mainly across portions here of Indiana and as well as Ohio. So make sure to be weather aware if you do live in Indiana and Ohio, because like I said, I still expect there to be some pretty good rainfall around, even though the European model does not agree with the GFS model. Now, for your total snowfall with the European model, okay? With the European model, you can expect, again, some pretty good snowfall across the Great Lakes region. The GFS model shows that snow more widespread, though, and instead of just showing it across this area, it also shows it across Michigan, but the European model doesn't want to show as much of that purple color back out here towards Michigan, which indicates that Michigan may not see as much snow compared to what the GFS model has shown. So like I said, we don't have very good agreement on if we're really going to be seeing this much snowfall or not, but we do have good agreement on northern Wisconsin and portions here of Minnesota seeing some pretty good snowfall, because that's also what the GFS model is showing. But none of the models really agree on Michigan seeing a foot of snowfall, nor the Ohio Valley getting a whole lot of rainfall. So like I said, not very good agreement on either the precipitation or the snowfall in some areas, but like I said, even though 1 model might show it, it's still something that we do need to be keeping an eye on, because sometimes 1 models get to everything right. So we will be watching the Ohio Valley closely, because like I said, I even said that in southwest Indiana or even Ohio could be seeing some flash flooding too as well, and it will be something to keep an eye on. So yeah, so thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys don't have your winter gear out yet, I recommend taking it out in the Great Lakes, because I do want you guys to be ready for a potential winter storm to come your way, especially if you live in Minnesota or Wisconsin, because we do have good agreement on that. But if you do live in Michigan, there's still some uncertainty on how much snowfall you will get. There's also uncertainty on if the northern Ohio Valley will see snowfall or if the entire Ohio Valley will see any precipitation. So, like I said, we don't have very good agreement between the European model and the GFS model in some regions, but like I said, it's still something to keep an eye on, so we will be watching this massive storm extremely closely. But if you haven't liked and subscribed already, make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below if you haven't already. Please subscribe.